Hi, this is a janitorial spot with video 3 of how to obtain commercial contracts immediately. In video 3, our last series of videos for this particular subject, we're going to discuss 3 more ways to obtain commercial contracts. The first way are phone calls, the dreaded phone calls. No one likes to do cold calls, but they are a necessary evil. So let's do a couple of suggestions. 1, make sure that you do the phone calls at the same time every day. What I mean by that is you could do them at 10 o'clock in the morning from 10 to 11, and you could do them from 2 to 3. But just make sure you do them the same time, meaning the same amount of time. We figured out that in order to do 50 phone calls, you need to do an hour of work. When you're making the phone calls, they're pretty quick. You're asking the questions, and you're making sure you document. Have a pen and paper, your source for making the phone calls, and make sure that you have one pile for do not call, one for call back, another for yes, we're interested to set up the appointment, and then keep your other for the appointments you've gone on. This would be your management tools, which we'll discuss later. Once you've done your phone calls, you want to make sure that you follow up immediately, and hopefully you'll end up receiving an appointment from making the phone calls. Rule of thumb is we suggest you make them Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays and Fridays are normally not a great time to make phone calls, whereas on Mondays people are just getting in from the weekends, and on Fridays people are excited about going away on the weekend. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are great times. Try in the morning. I would suggest nothing before 10. Try at lunch. Try in the afternoon, and maybe cut your phone calls off around 5 o'clock. Keep your questions brief and concise. The goal is to get the appointment, not to make the sale over the phone. The second way I would suggest is to do mail-outs. Make sure that you have some type of paper that you would like to insert that looks like it's going to bring value to your company. And what I mean by paper is some type of advertisement on your business, something that talks about your services, what makes you different, what you do for the community. All of this is something that you want to make sure that you put, whether it be in a flyer form or whether it be in a some type of promotional, but you want to make sure that you have your contact information, what makes you different, and why they should act immediately. Always give them a time frame to respond. You may have a limiter on as far as the first 10 customers or the first customers that reply within an hour or 5 days, but always have a limit either on the number or the time frame. This gives someone a chance not to procrastinate, because we all have a tendency to procrastinate. Once you do your flyer, you want to make sure you have some kind of matrix in place that allows you to collect the data. A matrix is a system that you put in place to let you know exactly how it's working, whether it be the calls that you make, whether it be the mailers that you send out, but you want to have a matrix in place. The third way I would suggest is to do newsletters. A newsletter is a great way to connect with your customers. So if you have a contact, ensure that you get their email address, because having their email address will allow you to send newsletters about how great your business is. We provide very, very professional newsletters, and we suggest that if you're trying to obtain commercial contracts, that's one of the ways you do that is by obtaining the email address and sending out professional newsletters. If you need any assistance, please give us a call and we'll make sure you show us. We'll make sure we show you. Sorry for that slip. Okay, so once you've done the newsletter and you've sent them out, you want to send them out on a consistent basis. When you send them out on a consistent basis, that'll make sure that the customer knows that they can look forward to your newsletter. Put a little story about your business, what you've done, what you're doing, and let them know that you're human. As you can see, I am, because as we go along, I do make mistakes. So now we've covered newsletters, mail outs, and cold calls in this third series of how to get contracts now. I hope we were helpful, and if you need any further information, please visit us at www.thejanitorialspot.com. Visit on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and you can also give us a call at 1-800-601-2730, extension 106, and let one of our friendly customer service help you with obtaining contracts and giving you information. Have a great day.